to celebrate Ash Wednesday, which marks the beginning of the penitential Lenten season of the 40 days Jesus Christ spent fasting in the desert and enduring temptation by Satan. The clergy has called on believers to use the Lent period for reconciliation and doing good deeds, especially those that are in need. Take a look.
Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of a profound journey in the Christian faith to the start of the 40 days season of prayer, fasting and almsgiving, literally referred to as Lent, in preparation for the Christian feast or Easter. As it has always been the tendency among the Christians to throng places of worship, so it has been the same today. Our observance on how prepared the believers are commenced at Christ the King Catholic Church a few meters from our operation offices. And here by 7 o'clock in the morning, believers had already found their way to welcome Lenten season. Here, in the course of the Holy Mass of the Lent, the main celebrant, Monsignor Gerald Kalumba, reminded Christians about the essence of the fasting period. Monsignor Kalumba also clarified on the significance of Ash Wednesday.
To remind ourselves of our nature, that our nature is fragile, our nature is weak, we are dust, we are nothing. So whatever we do during this season of Lent should remind us that for us to be something, we should be humble before God, so that it's God who looks at us and turns our lives round.
Our next destination was at Raga Catholic Cathedral Church, where school-going children had a special day's prayer session organized for them at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they attended in big numbers. During Mass presided over by Reverend Father Anthony Musala, he urged believers to renew their faith and reflect during this fasting period, and to cleanse themselves of sin to fit in the image of Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world.
This ash is a symbol of repentance, because we're now entering 40 days, which we call Lent. And these 40 days are a journey to Easter, where we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, dear friends, we all want to rise up with Christ, and our country needs to rise up with Christ.
And mark you, we are called upon not to eat meat.
Meanwhile, the Diocesan Bishop of Masaka, Monsignor Severus Jumba, while leading Mass at Chitovu Cathedral, urged people to actively celebrate Mass and do good deeds to others. Bishop Jumba urged the people to observe the sacraments during this time. Christians who attended Ash Wednesday also shared their knowledge of the fast.
It's a period where we have to do self-reflection on our conduct, on our behavior, and how we relate with others around us.
Osanga ino obwetaavu n'obaako ky'omuyamba bw'oba olina ky'obadde spending ng'aggwa omuntu n'osalawo at least okikolere ku balala.
Kira kyonna ekikusiba okujja eri Omukama mu kisiibo kino gezaako okulaba nti okyeggyako.
The fast that started today, February 14th, will end on Thursday, 20th March. Ivan Juko and Michael Bakabulindi for UBC.
Thank you so much, Ivan Juko. Moving on from that, over 10 women have expressed interest in replacing late Cecilia Barbara Ogwell, who died last month. Different political parties have started preparing their strategies to reclaim the seat, while FDC have resolved that the daughter to the late takes over her mother's leadership mantle. Details follow.
The position for Dokolo District Woman MP was declared vacant following the demise of Cecilia Ogwale. On Monday, Electoral Commission issued a roadmap setting 21st March as the date to fill the vacant position.
Everything on table looked very okay, but when you're in the field, it's different.
Political parties have started strategizing carefully to reclaim the seat formerly occupied by FDC since 2006, when Dokolo was carved out from Lira.
And those 5 years, under the FDC need to be completed.
From two people, FDC has resolved that Cecilia Ogwa's daughter holds the party's flag in the by-election.
So I believe that you knew what Imat Cecilia stood for. I am her daughter, her likeness, her voice, and I will be continuing that work if you give me the mantle of office.
Dr. Rosemary Alwach, who holds a paper in law and a doctorate in economics from UK, wants to carry on mother's legacy. Alwach says she has been speaking and fighting injustices while in the UK.
So people of Doholo should know that the person who is going to be there for them is going to talk tough, is going to work with people, and will be willing to get down and fight for them. So
NUP is also interested in the seat. Harriet Ageno is holding the flag.
We have very poor road interconnecting us to our health centers and to the schools. I will sit at the Parliament and advocate for the central government to push for the budget.
UPC and NRM already have candidates who held their flag in the 2021 election, and going by the party's constitution, they will retain their flags.
And right now, the national leadership is working hand in hand with the leadership, the party leadership in Dokolo district, to organize the district's conference that will produce flag bearers for UPC. And at the moment, we await to receive any reports or a report from the local leadership about the process of those who are intending to participate and represent UPC at various elective positions as announced by the Electoral Commission.
That Dokolo is dominated by FDC and dominated by UPC, I'm saying no. Let's change it by having a person like me who is going to be an NRM-leaning independent.
But NRM already has more aspirants planning to run independently.
I am also now stepping aside. Yesterday I told my vice chairperson, that is Muzei Jacob Opiangeng, to take charge while I continue with my aspiration, because I do not want to be a player and at the same time a referee.
You see, what has happened in Dokolo is exceptional. Because if that flag bearer was strong, she could have made it in the other election. So that's why I cannot just leave her to remain alone and then opposition take. I've come to defend the cause of NRM.
In the last general election, Cecilia Ogwa ran under FDC ticket and garnered 32,000 votes. She was trailed by NRM candidate Janet Rose Adong-Elau with 16,000 votes and UPC's Anna Guti-Nyankori with 10,000 votes. Eddie Olua, UPC News.
The Uganda Wildlife Authority has denied allegations of blocking the Auditor General from accessing the chimpanzee and gorilla booking data during the audit process. Bashir Hangi, the Manager Communications and Public Relations at Uganda Wildlife Authority, told UBC TV in an interview that the allegations are not true, adding that UWA has instead been more transparent. We have the details in this report.
On Tuesday, the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises ordered for a forensic audit into the 500 million shillings gorilla permit scandal that rocked the Uganda Wildlife Authority last year. This is after the Auditor General revealed to the MPs that Uganda Wildlife Authority denied him access of the chimpanzee and gorilla booking system.
The allegation is that they were denied access to the booking system. That's the allegation, okay, but not under declaration. And it's not true. Actually, we gave them access to the booking system. We have it on record, in writing, where we say, please come and access the booking system. We cannot deny the Office of the Auditor General access to the booking system. We can't do that.
Last year, Uganda Wildlife Authority came under fire after it emerged that some of its staff were selling fake gorilla and chimpanzee permits to unsuspecting tourists, costing government billions of money.
The Auditor General has access to all information in the institution, and he has his own team that does work for him. Yeah. All they need is access to information, that's it. Yeah. And they don't say, help us with this. You just tell them, here it is, this is here, this is here, this is here, and they do their work.
Despite the scandal, Uganda Wildlife Authority reported to have collected 22.4 billion shillings as revenue from gorilla and chimpanzee trekking in 2023. But the Auditor General John Mwanga told Kosase that denying him access limits his audit work into verifying the accuracy of these figures.
The permit saga shows that UWA is a credible institution, honest, trustworthy, and accountable. Why? Because we did not hide anything. When the report came out, we informed the public. We took action and suspended the people who were involved. We reported to police, and we've been cooperating with the police in their investigations. The minister commissioned a forensic audit, which is currently underway.
In October last year, the Tourism Ministry asked the Office of the Auditor General to undertake a comprehensive forensic audit covering the period between July 2020 and September 2023. This was basically to unravel fraud that had been detected in gorilla and chimpanzee bookings at Bwendi, Mugahinga and Chibale National Parks, as well as Queen Elizabeth National Park. Diano Olweny Peters, UBC News.
Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Hajat Misa Kabanda, has highlighted the need for investors to build houses for Ugandans through discussing how each benefits, and this will improve on urbanizing the city. She said this during the launch of the apartments in Kamocha, where a foreign company built houses for Ugandans.
Buildings are one indicator of the growth of the area, and Remax, the world-class housing construction company, is here to improve and promote urbanization through building houses for Ugandans on installments. They have started this project in Kamocha and Mawanda Road, where they unveiled a building that will showcase the potential for purchase by Ugandans. Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Hajat Misa Kabanda, welcomed the Remax initiative, which she said will promote the city and improve on the standards.
But since you are not politicians, we are going to assist you and see how we are going to improve Kampala. You have big land here in Kampala, Bisenyis, Chisenyi 1, Chisenyi, Tumengo Parish, all the parishes around Kampala district are slum areas. So if we could partner with you, we could meet separately, not today. We can meet in the office. We bring stakeholders on table and we see how we are going to improve Kampala, even markets, because we have markets which are not in a good shape.
The company promised to take Ugandans abroad to copy the quality structures and build them here. The minister welcomed the move, saying it would provide opportunities for Ugandans to acquire skills and jobs.
Told me that about 50, we are going to add on more to work with you, because this thing is a very big thing. So work with them as you are gaining experience, such that when you leave this company, you also start your own with an experience from here and you share it with others. That's how the world moves.
Muhammad Kalisa, the founder of the scheme, said under the scheme, buyers are given 18 months to pay for houses and are given title deeds to confirm their purchase.
Because we have a very good payment terms for you, we give you 18 months to pay. No interest. 18 months, no interest. Echomali muchalabyeko myezi 18 ng'osasula nga bw'olaba, no interest. Naye bw'oba obookinga oteekayo 15,000, you pay 5,000. The rest is 18 months. Tukwata bulungi, tetukubanja nnyo.
Sudat Kaye and Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Uganda, like many other countries, faces a constant threat from infectious diseases and outbreaks. From anthrax to COVID-19, the nation has had its share of health emergencies. Uganda National Health Consumers Organization has urged government to prioritize preparedness, as you're about to witness in the next story.
The call to action emphasizes the necessity of robust healthcare systems for handling infectious diseases, highlighted by COVID-19. The economic impact of outbreaks is huge, often exceeding national budgets.
community and the private sector are critical players in preparedness, and they need to be empowered and enhanced as a priority. The detection is very much at community level. The response is also at community level. So communities and individuals are very important, and we need to enhance capacity and make it a priority going forward.
A key stakeholder recommendation is fully funding and institutionalizing Public Health Emergency Operations Center and the National Institute for Public Health.
We want government to strengthen accountability with a fully independent monitoring office and committee to drive the action of accountability, because the costs also relate. And we are not only talking about financial accountability, we are talking about management accountability.
Effective coordination, including the private sector, is crucial for unified health emergency response.
I want to say that a disease outbreak anywhere is a threat everywhere. And it runs very quickly. You saw how COVID ran from China in 2 minutes, and we were with it. Uganda needs to fund, stop, and prevent disease threats. An epidemic has the potential to kill millions, cost trillions of dollars, and disrupt society for months or even years.
The One Health approach, which emphasizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health, is particularly relevant in addressing emerging infectious diseases.
We are looking for more than 670 million here, perhaps billions, right? But if we are still grappling with the diseases of water, then we will be spending there instead of focusing on the deadly Ebolas. We'll start begging for Ebola. Yet if we can really work on issues to do with water, particularly in health facilities, and then of course protecting workers, very, very important. You know, the gadgets, gloves, masks, and so on. Because if we don't, they die. We saw it in COVID-19, much more.
People.
Investing in preparedness is not just a recommendation but a necessity, and prioritizing domestic preparation and reducing reliance on foreign aid, Uganda can better protect its population and contribute to global health security. Sudat Kaye and Robert Boiter, UBC News.
Together, Live Health initiatives alongside stakeholders have spearheaded a call for a menstrual health and hygiene policy, recognizing its urgency as a human rights issue. Ministry of Education and Sports study reveals critical menstrual health and hygiene challenges for women and girls in Uganda, hindering access to menstrual products. Take a look.
In 2020, a pivotal study conducted by the Ministry of Education and Sports unveiled alarming challenges faced by women and girls in Uganda regarding menstrual health and hygiene. The report highlighted significant barriers to accessing menstrual products, with over 77% of girls missing 2 to 3 days of school due to affordability issues and other related challenges.
This position paper reflects the efforts and expertise of the coalition. It serves as a resounding call to action, using the government of Uganda, the public, urging the government of Uganda, the public, the private sector, and civil society to unite and address the challenges surrounding menstrual health, thereby fostering a society where the rights of girls and women are upheld and celebrated.
The inability to afford sanitary products like pads increased these problems, underscoring the urgent need for action.
There is urgent call for formulation of a comprehensive national policy on menstrual health and hygiene. This policy should adequately address the diverse needs of both in-school and out-of-school girls. It is imperative to establish a more sustainable strategy by allocating a specific budget dedicated to menstrual health and hygiene for both in-school and out-of-school girls.
Tragically, this resulted in more than half of primary 1 girls dropping out before completing their primary education.
We insist on the need for the government to finance the distribution of menstrual hygiene learning materials in all institutions of learning, ensuring that every individual educator, learner, and community member is informed and equipped to support menstrual health and hygiene.
If the government is not willing to put to allocate a certain budget, which will push us to petitioning. But in the meantime, in the case even if we petition, still the government remains silent.
We petition Parliament to, in the next amendment, to reduce the tax of the pads. It may not be a tax exemption per se, but we petition for a reduction in these taxes.
Together Alive Healthy Initiatives, TAHI, has joined forces with stakeholders to advocate for a comprehensive menstrual health and hygiene policy. Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
Ministry of Internal Affairs is constrained with limited budget to monitor community service orders, while receiving 25 motorcycles to facilitate the movement of community service officers from United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Lieutenant General Joseph Musanyufu, reiterated on the surging number of sentenced individuals in prisons waiting for Community Service Commission supervision. Details follow.
The Community Service Commission superintends the implementation and the compliance of community service orders as per the instructions of the judiciary.
If you want to appreciate this program, just visit any of the prisons in this country, just one at random. I can assure you the results you will have is that there is no single prison which is not congested.
Therefore, strengthening programs that can divert offenders from the prisons is the way to go. If you can find ways of reducing this crowding in the prison.
The Commission decried underfunding despite the scope of work, which leaves many sentenced individuals suffer a long time in prison at the cost of limited community officers to supervise instructed community orders.
We would have wished to cover all the districts at once, but we are constrained by budgetary issues, and we have to be guided by government on how we recruit. However, as I said, these numbers do not come with a corresponding budget increase other than the wage.
To minimize case backlog and the proper management of crime and judicial system, Ministry of Internal Affairs is attracting partners for timely mandate execution.
Make all the efforts to ensure orders are properly supervised so that we make a difference in the lives of the offenders while protecting the communities. One of these efforts is to increase our presence at courts and facilitate the officers to perform their work as expected.
The contribution to the Directorate of Community Service really enhances not only the ability of the Directorate to monitor those who are on community service orders, but also to see compliance.
United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has extended a consignment of 25 motorcycles to facilitate mobility of community service officers in superintending community service orders.
Them the tools to enable them to do the job that they are supposed to do. Many of the officers are in far-flung areas where they do not have the necessary equipment to monitor cases relating to those who have offended and are on community service orders. You need to document the work that you do, the monitoring reports. So if you don't have a basic tool like a computer that will enable you to carry out some of your routine daily office work, that makes it difficult.
To enhance the visibility of community service officers, the Directorate recruited 52 officers in the recent financial year, though the whole country is not covered, which leaves many districts uncovered and a huge number of pending community service orders. Abdul Nasir Luwama and Lydia Chomkama for UBC.
A megaphone and placards alleged to have been used by Right Kano Kizabesije and Samuel Lubega Mkako to incite violence have been tendered in court as prosecution's exhibits. Prosecution has also presented 2 witnesses to pin the accused in this matter.
Buganda Road Court before Magistrate Nancha Jatiko has had the case of inciting violence against Kano Dr. Kizabesije and Samuel Lubega Mkako. Prosecution alleges that the duo committed the alleged offense on 14th June 2022 at Main Price in Kampala. The 2 who appeared in court, prosecution presented its second witness, Detective Sergeant Agaba Godwin, who told court that in June 2022, while attached to CPS Kampala as a Division Region CID boss, they arrested the accused persons from downtown Kampala and brought them to CPS. Agaba told court that he searched Besigye's car and recovered a megaphone and placards with wordings aimed at inciting violence. The said megaphone and placards have been turned into court as prosecution exhibits. Sergeant Benjamin Oluka, attached to CPS, was the third witness in this matter. He also told court that he witnessed the arrest of Dr. Kizza Besigye and Samuel Lubega Mukako.
They were addressing the public. They were calling the countrymen and women to rise up and act.
The witnesses were cross-examined by the accused's lawyer Arias Lukwago. However, it was hard for them to tell court how the megaphone and the placards incited violence by the two accused persons.
Other people higher in rank than her joined in.
Was she based at that same police post at Union Rights?
Yeah, she's the OC there.
She moved ahead of you.
We moved together, that's why.
The suspects from addressing the crowd. You moved the three of you.
Drop us moved there.
Huh?
Yes.
And you arrived at the same time.
Yeah, I want you to arrive there at the same time.
Court resumes on 15th March 2024. Rebecca Natongo, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just a capital loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Have you packed more with Harbour jelly and Harbour foam? Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. More with pack. It is a new improved more with Harbour jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a more with Harbour jelly.
Tell me kids the
irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit All Day Confidence.
Hi Fifi, how are you?
I'm fine. Baby, whenever I eat chips and chicken, I feel stomachache, joint pain and body weakness.
My dear, go to MX Nutrition Center and learn the best food for your body. And get treatment according to your blood group.
Are you sure?
Yes.
By the way, do you know your blood group, genotype, and how much you need to exercise? Come to Timex Nutrition Center for professional advice on how to manage your health and immune boosting. At Timex, we treat diseases like diabetes, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, pressure, and many more. For details, find us at our headquarters in Kampala on Nasa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor. We also have a branch in Barara, or call us on 0758 819952 or 0778 288361. Timex, be your own doctor.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. The prosecution witnesses in the murder case of Susan Magara have confirmed to court that while arresting the suspects at Usafi Mosque, someone who came out of the mosque cut off one of the police officers' arm. The two witnesses, however, told court that the person who chopped off the police officer's arm was later put out of action during the operation.
High Court Criminal Division in Kampala, before Judge Alex Ajej, has resumed with the hearing of the case, where 9 suspects accused in the murder case of Susan Magara. The 16th witness was ASP Senono Ismail, who was in charge of operations at Old Kampala Police Station in 2018. Senono told court that on 27th April 2018, he was ordered by his supervisor, a one in Savacharis, to move to Usafi Mosque with Jet Police to carry out arrests of suspects in the murder case of Susan Magara.
The gate at the mosque was made of a half-sized iron sheet. I knocked at the gate and I was hearing others talking inside the mosque. My lord, the one who was holding a panga, one of my officers put him out of action. However, after the exercise, we recovered another dead body whose circumstances of death could not be established at that moment.
Senono added that during the scuffle, someone came out of the mosque and cut off the arm of one of the police officers. However, he was later put out of action.
After listening to me, they increased their voices, chanting Arabic words, Allahu Akbar, while chanting Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, opened the small gate and cut off the hand of one of the officers attached to Jat. At that moment, I commanded the officers to cordon off the place, as this looks not like a normal operation.
The 17th witness was ASP Bwire Crispinos, aged 27 years, a police officer attached to Wandegea police station. Bwire told court that he was reached together with other police officers by ASP Senono Ismail to carry out an operation at Usafi Mosque to arrest the alleged suspects in Susan Magara's case.
Still found when almost every man was armed with a panga. But like getting pangas and they were sharpening, like you were doing it like this. Wow, wow. So they were like preparing to cut us, and one of us was already down. They were around 35 in number, around 35 there, but I cannot estimate it very well.
He added that since the occupants in the mosque resisted arrest, they decided to use some force, among others tear gas, to subdue them, and at the end of the operation, over 100 people were arrested.
But men still remained inside and very tough. After that, when our bosses also tried to engage them and all in vain, they now applied tear gas, and we therefore managed to arrest all of them who were inside. After the whole operation, some of our officers escorted them
to SIU Chireka, the men.
Defense cross-examined the witnesses. Court will resume on 5th March 2024 for further hearing of the case, and the accused have been further remanded. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
The leadership of the National Resistance Movement, NRM in Kasese district, is currently witnessing a wave of new members from opposition parties who have come to realize that only the ruling government can bring services closer to the people. Dr. Crispas Chiyonga, the chairperson of NRM for Kasese district, stated that several members of the opposition, particularly from the FDC, have chosen to leave their parties and are now finding merit in the NRM. Yesterday, Dr. Chiyonga visited Nyachiyimbu sub-county in Bukonzo County West, where over 60 former FDC members officially joined the NRM.
The opposition members in Kasese district, predominantly from FDC, are abandoning their party due to unfulfilled promises. Dr. Crispas Chiyonga emphasized that many are switching sides because of the effective popularization of government programs among the population.
Close to 1,000 people. So these are big groups of people. What were the main points they were bringing? Number one, that they have been told lies for a long time. FDC tells lies to people that being NRM is a curse, is no value. So they have been waiting. You people, you are saying that to be in NRM is no value, but you are bringing nothing. So why do you want us? Okay, if NRM is bringing nothing, you also are bringing nothing. But they say no, but NRM is giving PDM.
Dr. Crispas Chiyonga commented on the conversions, stating that the increasing number of members joining the NRM reflects a growing confidence in the ruling party. Looking ahead to the forthcoming elections, Dr. Chiyonga urged the people of Kasese to support the ruling government at all levels.
To the population, in line with our tradition of thanking, of showing gratefulness, but also preparing ourselves for better service at all levels, LOC 1, councillors, LOC 5, MPs.
Mr. Peter Kakule, the OC3 chairperson for Nyachiyumbu sub-county in Bukonzo County West constituency, highlighted the role of security agencies in addressing insecurity, contributing to the opposition members shifting towards the NRM.
Of security in Bukonzo West and mainly in Nyachiyumbu. Peace that has been prevailing in this constituency. People are now enjoying. People are working compared to the previous regimes. 3, promotion of unity. In this sub-county, we are promoting unity of purpose.
Members who joined the NRM expressed their belief that only the ruling party can help them realize their aspirations.
I have looked forward that in NRM it's where I'm going to achieve from, because now it has brought many programs to the citizens, e.g. the PDM program. There is a youth livelihood.
The sub-counties of Nyachiyumbu, Munkunyu, Wesumbu, Mpondwe Rubira Town Council, Chisinga Town Council, among others, have traditionally been strongholds of the opposition in Kasese district.
Ebisera by'okuzzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu keno kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyezi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited, erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
Hi, my name is Dennis Masindo Nyango, former Uganda Cranes captain and goalkeeper. My kind of a tank at home is a Crest tank. I use it at the farm and at home. I recommend it for everyone.
Are you a parent or guardian looking for a good and affordable school for your child? Look no further. Mandela Senior Secondary School, Hoima, is the answer. It is a boarding mixed senior secondary school offering arts and sciences. We have good science and computer laboratories, a fully stocked library, and registered with the Ministry of Education and Sports with the center number at an affordable fee structure for every parent. To register your child with Mandela SS in Hoima for the year 2023, call 0772 411 921 or 0771 850 217. Mandela SS Hoima, caring to achieve. The organizing committee of the Janan Womb Day Celebrations 2024 wishes to inform all invited guests that you are requested to take COVID-19 tests between the 13th and the 14th of February at the following venues. Public officials, you will take your tests at the office of the Prime Minister, Conference Hall, Platinum Wing, Mulago Hospital, and Platinum, Lumumba Avenue. Religious leaders, you will take your tests at the Inter-Religious Council of Uganda offices. Welcome to Dade Nursery and Primary School, Luzira, a school that gives your child a positive learning environment that makes them feel comfortable and safe. We are a progressive year-round nursery and primary school, providing a child-centered approach to early learning, collaborative family atmosphere, and a safe, inspiring environment that encourages exploration and creativity. Dade Nursery and Primary School offers a wide range of co-curricular activities that promote teamwork, physical and mental development, including ballet, soccer, basketball, piano, and home economics. Admissions are in progress from baby class to P7, starting from the 8th of January to the 5th of February 2024. Find us at the first left turn after Oryx Service Station towards Luzira.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Parliament has expressed dissatisfaction in government's response to the actions of some schools charging exorbitant fees. The Minister of State for Education, Joyce Kaduchi, presented the measures taken by government to address the vice, but the members of Parliament found no room for the statement. Minister Kaduchi then asked for time to revise her response after further consultations from respective authorities. A section of schools have made it a habit to make parents dig deeper from their pockets to pay for school fees.
The Minister of State for Education, Joyce Moriko Kaduchi, presented to Parliament some of the measures which the government has taken to address the cries of some parents who are facing the wrath of high school charges.
No school, private or government, shall increase school fees for whatever reason without written authorization from the Permanent Secretary.
Government, according to Minister Kaduchi, is aware of the illegal actions of the schools, charging prohibited fees, and has embarked on plans to introduce the universal education for all.
When the ministry, Mr. Speaker, when the Ministry of Education took the framework paper for regulating such that we eventually get the statutory instrument to regulate these schools, Parliament, in their wisdom, advised the Ministry of Education we should come in with a comprehensive paper that is going to put in place to bring on board the compulsory universal free education. And that goes along with increment in funding, which is 309 billion.
But the MPs did not welcome the interventions as addressed by Minister Kaduchi, claiming that the presentation is a replica of the previous submissions.
These directives, we are aware, and they have been issued since 2020, as she has alluded here. The report we wanted was to tell us that the Honorable so-and-so who owns this school, charging very exorbitant school fees, has been sanctioned as such.
The problem is actually becoming worse to an extent that, Right Honourable Speaker, you can even see nursery schools charging 4 million shillings for a nursery kid. 4 million shillings. And Right Honourable Speaker,
the MPs showed mixed reactions of the current competence-based curriculum, questioning its fate, as the pioneer cohort students are yet to join the advanced level of education.
But when I look at a primary school in my village, in Makoma village, Bulida sub-county, a UPE primary school, the teachers do not have the materials for the new curriculum. What is the plan that government is having on this particular matter of providing the rural schools with materials? The minister did not talk about that.
Under liberalization, it's the forces of demand and supply to determine the price. Now, education as a sector was also unfortunate. It was also liberalized. We have now private sector people who are doing their business like any other business. So because of that, we don't have a law. I would say there is a lacuna in the law that can regulate a person who is running a private school as a private business, and he can.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, allowed the request of Minister Kadushu to make further consultations and report back to the House. Daniel Mugoya.
In downtown Kampala, border riders have caused chaos over disputes with fellow riders who claim to be their leaders, alleging that they lack the necessary requirements to operate. This led to police intervention, resulting in several detentions. Patrick Oyango, the deputy police spokesperson, said that those detained will face charges including simple robbery and assault.
nga bakwatira muno mu area mwonna mbwe muti naye nga berimbika nti be bakulu ba gundi be bakulu aba boda naye nga tewali babalonda bo beteekawo bweteesi nga bo bana bakwata bannaabwe bw'olutuusaawo musaabaze nga bakwata nga bagamba leeta kaadi ya stage kyokka olwo bakateekawo musaabaze ne bagala leeta kaadi ya stage oluusi nga tokolera na mu Kampala Central.
Ego obeera ino gamba nti dozi Kisaka jangu ono mumuwe ekifo yakulya bodaboda ojja muteeka n'effe tujja kukola ki kumusima kivala bonna kubeekuba naye gwe kamba olunaku z'omwezi nti 3 ogw'omukaaga mwenna mujje munakivubo bbulu mulonde obukulembeze bwaki obwa bodaboda
batuteekateekere stage nga bazigazeetinga tufune uniform tulabe nga
Ugandans continue to remain in unregistered marriages despite efforts by the Registration Bureau to have them register their marriages. Statistics from the Uganda Registration Service Bureau indicate that civil registered marriages in the year 2022-2023 were only 21.337.
Uganda is by the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. With the aim of popularizing the relevance of marriage registration in Uganda, the Registrar General, Mercy Kyomugisha, notes that efforts have been done to ease the process of marriage registration. Most Ugandans have failed to legalize their marriages. Kyomugisha adds that some have held marital ceremonies and never taken the initiative to register their marriages with government, which makes their marriages void.
Many of you are calling yourselves Mrs. So and so, yet you have never formalized it in any way. You just have the title. And sometimes the challenges that we have faced when it comes to ownership of property is challenging because you're not legally known.
In order to recover your pension, in order to recover NSSF for your deceased husband, in order to actually get a divorce, you have to first of all prove a marriage.
The low regularization of marriages has been attributed to the high cost attached to marriages currently and pressure from those that have held big events.
You cannot register your marriage with your girlfriend or your fiancé or your friend if you have not fulfilled customary requirements, if the parents are traditional and customary in their mindset. So they will say, give us our cows first, give us our mtwaro first, before you register your marriage with our daughter.
Religious leaders have called upon government to expedite the amendment of the current Marriage Act, which is said to be old. The law was enacted in 1904. Although emphasis has been put on marriage legalization, the number of those divorcing is alarming. Sarah Badagawa, a marriage counsellor, attributes the increased breakups and single parenting to impatience and monetarization of relationships.
I find that now it brings about mistrust. People are too much preoccupied with their media on phones. They put passwords in a phone. I don't see the reason as to why, if you are a couple and you are married, you put a password and your phone is not open for your other spouse.
Nasari Fatia, reporting for UBC News.
To study abroad and explore new horizons, mark your calendar because the Africa Students Education Fair, in collaboration with WR Education Placement Consultants, proudly presents the 14th Annual Africa Students Education Fair on the 1st and 2nd of March at the Sheraton Hotel, Kampala. Interact with representatives from world-renowned colleges and universities, explore study abroad options, and dive into a world of endless opportunities. Don't just dream about it, make it happen. For more information, call us on 0702 628-446 or visit our website asfevents.com.
The energy of this land comes to life in dreams and memories. It lights up in these nights and leads us towards new horizons. It was born in the hearts of these men, of these women. The energy of this land comes from here. It comes from Africa, and it vibrates in each of us.
Empowered by Africa.
Oryx, service stations, powered by Africa.
The only water that can quench my thirst. Aquafina, we are good. Aquafina, hydration that is good. With essential and good. Can never tell what about though. Aquafina is my drinking water, my love.
In the production process of Aquafina, we expertly filter every drop, providing clear and perfect tasting water to help you keep hydrated with the added benefit of minerals. Aquafina is bottled by Pepsi Cola International in Uganda and is available at only 1,000 shillings.
Welcome to our business segment in the UBC News tonight. Avocado oil manufacturers have outcried to the government to develop avocado oil standards to regulate the exportation of substandard and premature avocado, which eventually leads to the ban of Ugandan produce on international markets. This was during a key stakeholders engagement to benchmark on how the fruit should be handled for bumper harvests.
Venturing in avocado growing has been overlooked for many years, as avocado trees tended to grow themselves. Venturing in the fruit crop has greatly benefited the growers and those active in the value chain, leading to the construction of factories for value addition.
The growing of avocado has caught a lot of excitement across the country. and we see increase in the orchards across the country. Production of the avocado fruit is also increasing. And because of that, we have attracted now 5 investors in avocado oil processing. We have 5 across different parts of the country. We have one in Namamve here. The second one is near Mavira in Buikwe. The third one is in Nakaseke.
The recently introduced Hass avocado variety by the National Agriculture Advisory Services has been preferred by manufacturers for the extraction of avocado oil, which is exported to international markets at better prices.
These are fully fledged oil extraction factories for avocado oil. And as we speak now, all these factories are exporting crude avocado oil mainly to Portugal, Spain, and Middle East.
Manufacturers, however, want exporters exporting substandard fruits to cease the practice so as to keep the demand for Ugandan products on international markets.
That exportation is happening without any value addition, which is something that stops the Ugandan economy from benefiting. And the other thing is the exportation of fruits while they are not fully mature, which is something that the government has to put strict regulations in place to fight.
They also want government to develop avocado oil standards to regulate exportation and protect local farmers.
UNBS is trying their best to come up with standards, but as a local investor, we have a lot of problems in terms of standardization of our crude avocado oil and also our extra virgin avocado oil.
An East African standard now. It is the standard that we have to follow, but we cannot in any case work with that standard because it works with a different method of extraction. The results, the characteristics of the oil that comes out using that extraction method are not achievable at the moment.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Uganda Communications Commission, UCC, and Central Bank are hosting a 2-day high-level stakeholders engagement with private sector players in Chigo to discuss emerging issues affecting digital financial services in Uganda. The meeting is expected to inform policy reforms, spur innovations, and address potential cyber crimes in both telecom and financial sectors of Uganda.
The stakeholders meeting is deemed relevant to impose sectoral oversight of emerging issues within the digital financial services subsector of Uganda.
So the tip-off mainly was when it became clear that it is now really financial services, not only sending money, but it was evolving, it has evolved to credit. It's no longer a telecommunication service.
With keen interest on mobile money, Chris Bariomonsi, the ICT Minister, believes that the recently launched 5-year digital transformation roadmap by government will sufficiently guide Uganda to become the much desired modern society thriving through technology.
The cost of the phone, the smartphone, has come down, but I think more has to be done to bring the cost down further and also to reduce the cost of internet.
With only 21 licensed fintechs operating in the country, Amina Zawede, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT, asserts that their current tax regime is discouraging innovation, thereby befitting some of the objectives in the 5-year digital transformation roadmap.
Today, I feel, and I am of the view and strong opinion, that we are taxing the grass that the cow is feeding on, and therefore not getting limited resources out of this.
According to Central Bank, digital financial services, mobile money in particular, have helped spur financial inclusion to over 78% of Ugandan citizens today, down from 54% in 2006, registering over 28 million mobile money accounts served by over 1 million merchants.
Then you have these people, you say, don't send money to this line, send to this one. Can we achieve some kind of interface so that my name is me, so that even if there are 10 people using it, maybe this is what blockchain technology can help us.
So it's not entirely true that digitization per se is driving the reduction of branches. It is more that the business models and the business cases for maintaining a branch have changed. Two, the pricing of credit has got a number of factors in Uganda that influence it. The first and foremost is the cost of government borrowing. If the government comes into the market and borrows at a rate of 15% for 5 years, there is no bank going to lend you at less than 15.
As mobile money clocks towards 15 years since its introduction in 2009, its integration with fintechs and the banking sector has become more evident. Digital financial services continue to play a critical role in economic development, more so on the front of financial inclusion for those rural communities that were formerly not banked. However, it is critical to note that government and private sector need to continue collaborating if the sector must realize continued growth. Wadulo Mark Arnold for UBC News in Chigo.
Now, on this Valentine's Day, February 14th, people worldwide are expressing love through greetings, gifts and flowers, a universal symbol of affection. However, flower vendors in downtown Kampala lament the low turnout of clients, citing a tough economic environment.
Annually on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day is celebrated worldwide as people express love through various gestures. Some demonstrate their affection by exchanging gifts, while others opt for flowers. In downtown Kampala, the streets and malls are adorned in red, with gifts awaiting eager buyers.
Guno tetukoze nnyo lwa nsonga zidde abadde bakazi abaana ku ssomero abasinga tebasobodde because emuli biri ku high price.
However, flower vendors lament a lower turnout compared to the previous years.
Kye tulabye mwaka guno turn-up ekendeddemu n'ekirala weather affects our production a lot.
Some attribute the decline in sales to the challenging economic environment.
Ebimuli bibuze okuva gye tubisuubule Nairobi, emmotoka zijja ne oba otumiza nga full package bakoterako half package because n'abalala nabo balina okubeera nga bafuna.
Additionally, the prices of flower banquets appear to have been raised. Sophie Gombia and other florists shed light on the situation, explaining the reasons behind the price hike.
The prices zo ziri waggulu kyenyinza okugamba cause on this day the demand beats supply. Kati of course kati tugenda mu abo ababidinga kati prices ziri waggulu kyenyinza okukakasaako for today and era tuba twegobyeko ba customers abamu cause sente zaabwe tezifavoringa ffe kuba baba supplying ebintu byo prices ziri waggulu.
She urges Ugandans to consider venturing into flower growing businesses to mitigate such price fluctuations, highlighting their reliance on imports, particularly from the neighboring countries like Kenya.
Kati ffe wano tulina kaloko kaffe katono, of course tuli bangi nnyo ku faamu emu. Kati ba farmers nsolo bagamba nti if you're looking woteka sente zo ekimuli kijja kukolera lwakuba kikola sirina lunaku lumu lwa Valentine night all throughout.
Justin Nakami, UBC News.
As the anticipation builds for the upcoming Kenya Open, Absa Bank has once again demonstrated its commitment to the sport by significantly increasing its sponsorship investment. Executive Director and Chief Finance Officer at Absa Bank Uganda, Michael Segwaya, expressed their enthusiasm for the event, which marks Absa's 6th consecutive year involvement.
Ronald Rugumayo will make his 3rd consecutive Magical Kenya Open appearance as the 2nd best golfer among the non-Kenyans from the tour behind Zimbabwe's visitor Mapwanya. This has been boosted by Absa Bank with an elevation of a substantial 130 million shillings towards professionals, amateurs and select customers participating in the tournament. Speaking on behalf of the organization, Michael Segwaya emphasized the significance of the Kenya Open for both the country and the golfing community. ABSA stands ready to champion the spirit of sportsmanship and excellency that defines the Kenya Open. Sudat Kaye, UBC Sport.
And that brings us to the end of UBC News Tonight today. That happens to be the Valentine's Day as well. I hope you had and enjoyed your beautiful day out there. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. With now Queen Elizabeth on sign language from the team, and I have a lovely night, and we'll leave you with the weather forecast.
Welcome once again to our daily weather updates from the Uganda National Meteorological Authority. I'm Jasper Ainebuna. In the morning, we saw the southern sector with some light rains, and later in the afternoon, partly cloudy conditions prevailed over most parts of the country. For the satellite analysis, we still have the advection of the Congo air mass together with the northeasterlies blowing towards our country, and these are responsible for the wet activities that we are receiving. Tomorrow morning, we are anticipating light rains across Kampala, Masaka. The rest partly cloudy conditions are expected. As we cross to the eastern parts of the country, we forecast light rains across Jinja to light rains, and in Soroti, partly cloudy conditions are expected. Western parts of the country, chances of partly cloudy conditions are very high, and apart from in Masindi, where light rains are expected. As we move on to the northern parts of the country, we are forecasting partly cloudy conditions across the northern sector, apart from Arua with some light rains. Later in the afternoon, Kampala is expected to have light rains with a high of 27 degrees Celsius, and in Masaka 27, while in Nakasongola light rains 28 degrees Celsius. Eastern parts of the country, Jinja is expected to have light rains with a high of 29 degrees Celsius, and in Soroti, light rains are expected with a high of 32 degrees Celsius. Later, central parts of the country across Mara, light rains are expected with a high of 27 degrees Celsius, while in Kigizi Highland, 25 degrees Celsius, light rains across. Northern parts of the country, we are forecasting light rains that are expected to take over the entire region with a high of 32 degrees Celsius across Lila, and while in Kitgum, 32 degrees Celsius. As we go to the global world, Cairo is expected to have sunny intervals with a high of 19 degrees Celsius, while in Dubai, sunny intervals are expected, and in London, partly cloudy conditions are expected with a high of 15 degrees Celsius. Thank you so much for watching our daily weather forecast. For more information, you can visit our website. Good evening.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. The Organizing Committee of the Janan Womb Day Celebrations 2024 wishes to inform all invited guests that you are requested to take COVID-19 tests